Welcome to Lemoore City Council Chambers located at 429 C Street. This is the July 7th meeting. Please silence all electronic devices as a courtesy to those in attendance. Thank you. If you could please stand for the invocation given by Alex Walker and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Stuart Lyons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Please all bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, please bless the city of Lemoore, its residents, its visitors, and all who live in our great nation. Please lend us your grace, your guidance, your love as we gather to conduct the people's business, celebrate community, and gather as one. May you bless our families and give us the opportunity to be courageous. May you bless our first responders and give them the opportunity to serve our great community. May you bless our hometown hero, Reagan Gibson, her heroism, bravery, and faith of her family. May you inspire our actions tonight and inform tomorrow's decisions. We thank you for your divine protection. Amen.
Ready, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Councilmember Brewster.
Here.
Councilmember Lyons.
Present.
Councilmember Cruz.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gornick.
Here.
And Mayor Matthews.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda approval additions and or deletions.
Staff has no changes. I would just like to point out for the public that there is a special meeting agenda that will run concurrent with the regular agenda. It just has one agenda item, which is closed session relating to property negotiations.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to ceremonial presentations. We have item 1-1, reassignment of 2 thermal imaging cameras, Kings County Fire. Chief Chamberlain.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Guests. John Chamberlain, Kings County Fire. I also get to serve tonight as the county's Director of Office of Emergency Services, so I get dual hats on this one. January 29th of this year, I attended a meeting with Lieutenant Cosper from your police department. He basically, as we were working through the Homeland Security grant allocation, we identified some surplus revenue that was available for thermal imaging cameras. We identified 2 in particular that were available for reassignment, and Lieutenant Cosper spoke up and said that you guys could use those. Multiple missions for these types of thermal imaging cameras for the police department could be bodies searching out in the fields, whatnot, looking for a suspect. Could be any number of things related to search warrants along the way, different things along those things. So not reassigning them in the aspect of where they're being deployed, not necessarily detailing to you. So the chief gets to save on paperwork. I know he appreciates that. But I just wanted to take the opportunity tonight to present those 2 thermal image cameras, lightly used by the fire department, but they are at your disposal until such time as you don't want them. They also have vehicle chargers, so they can be permanently mounted if so desired. It'll be up to you how you choose to deploy them. But on behalf of Kings County and the operational area for the fire department and Homeland Security, it's my pleasure to present those. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have an acceptance speech, Chief?
Paperwork.
Good evening, Madam Mayor.
That was a joke, but you're actually coming up here.
I always have
Okay.
a speech just ready in my back pocket. No, I just want to thank Kings County Fire Chief Chamberlain for reallocating those to us. We will definitely put them into use, put them right out onto patrol. So again, I thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll go ahead and move on to item 1-2, hometown hero Reagan Gibson. I believe, Faith, you're gonna, nope, Scaldi.
Top of the evening, Chris Scaldi, Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department. Miss Gibson over there, thank you. So tonight, the city of Lemoore is proud to launch a new recognition program honoring individuals whose courage, compassion, and selfless actions make our community a better and safer place. These individuals are hometown heroes, ordinary people who step forward in extraordinary moments. Our inaugural hometown hero, his name is Reagan Gibson. On the evening of June 18th, 2026, at approximately 7:15 PM, while swim lessons were in session at Rachel Taylor's swim school, a neighbor arrived carrying an unresponsive 2-year-old child who had been found at the bottom of a swimming pool. The neighbor urgently called for help and for CPR. Without hesitation, Reagan instructed her swim student to safely exit the pool and remain with their parent before immediately responding to the emergency. While the other swim instructors calmly evacuated the remaining students and ensured they were safely reunited with their families, Reagan was already administering CPR to the child. Rachel Taylor began to assist Reagan with checking the child's pulse. Their swift actions restored the child's pulse, and they continued providing care until the little girl began crying. By the time the Lemoore Police Department, Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department, and American Ambulance personnel arrived, the child was awake, crying, and receiving continued medical attention. Ms. Gibson's calm demeanor, decisive actions, and willingness to act under immense pressure undoubtedly made a life-saving difference. Her courage and commitment exemplify the very best of our community and serve as an inspiration to us all. So on behalf of the City Council and the residents of Lemoore, we are honored to recognize Reagan Gibson as the very first recipient of the City of Lemoore's Hometown Hero Recognition. Thank you for your extraordinary courage, quick thinking, and dedication to helping others. Your actions remind us that heroes truly do live among us. So congratulations, Reagan, and thank you for being Lemoore's first hometown hero.
I just also want to say that the little girl that she saved is also here tonight.
Oh.
So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. I don't know if you guys want to bring her up and get a picture.
No, not good.
You guys want to get right here and we'll take a picture?
Well, Reagan doesn't want to give a speech first?
Hold on, we're gonna have the council come down. You guys want to come down?
Come on, babe, get in.
No, I'm gonna get one of everybody. Oh. That's good. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. All the way up back to the so thanks you. Thank you.
You're in my shot.
Hold on, we're gonna bring the video. I'm sure
Reagan, would you like to do an acceptance speech?
Baby. I just wanted to say you never really know how you're going to deal with the situation until it's put in front of you. And it does come down to fight or flight. And I think we all fought for this little girl, including like all of my coworkers. Rachel trained us to do exactly what was put in front of us that day. So if you're going to get swim lessons, go to Rachel Taylor Swim School.
Sierra, did you want to say something? No? Okay. No problem.
Once again, thank you, Reagan. Awesome. The fire department would also like to remind the community about water and pool safety this time of the year. Please check out the LVFD Facebook page for more information and simple steps to prevent tragedies and keep everybody safe all summer long. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. And now we'll go to item 3-1, Officer of the Year, Sergeant Ellsworth. Chief Kendall.
Gonna make that head red.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. We got a little behind this year. We have already recognized Sergeant Ellsworth in-house as the 2025 Officer of the Year, but we didn't do it here. And I thought it was important that we do it here. So Sergeant Ellsworth, can you come up here, please? Chase Ellsworth first started his career in law enforcement as a police explorer with us. In 2017, he attended the Kings Tulare Police Academy, graduating in 2018. After graduation, Chase was hired by Lemoore PD as a reserve police officer. Chase was promoted to full-time in 2019, and he was promoted to a full-time officer in 2019. He was promoted to corporal in 2025, and he was promoted to sergeant May of this year. During his time with the police department, he has served in many roles. He's been assigned as a youth development officer, Kings County Honor Guard, Explorer Advisor, Recruit Training Officer, Field Training Officer, Peer Support Team Member, and he manages our department's social media. His community involvement includes leading the department's annual shoe drive, and he has earned a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. For the recognition of his outstanding service, leadership, and commitment to the community, it is my honor to recognize Sergeant Ellsworth as our 2025 Officer of the Year.
Acceptance speech.
Yeah, you gotta say something.
Speech.
I didn't know about that. Well, I just want to thank Chief Kendall and the city leadership. I've had the opportunity to work across California, and there's no place like Lemoore. And that starts at the top with our city leadership and our police chief. So I just want to thank all of you and the opportunity to serve the city that I love. Thank you.
Thank you.
You gotta get in this.
He thought he was getting out of that. No, I knew I could go. Yeah, I agree. Follow me. Are we going? Come on. You guys, go. You want us all in?
Can I do one with council first and then? Oh. Oh.
Never mind, everybody. You'll get it?
Okay, go down. Yeah. Who wants to take a knee?
I'm gonna hide right behind Mike's head.
We're missing Gornett, of course.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Great.
Yes, good. You got it. Sorry. Oh, girl.
Oh, they put new thermostats in. When that happened. Did you turn the heater on? It's blowing hot air.
I know, it's hot. She upgraded, now it's hot. But a big fun must raise the farms. That one, I like that one.
But it's like they said, it's gonna be a vertical.
Congratulations. Very well deserved.
I just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever had to do that.
Felt good, huh?
Yeah. Just kidding. Now we have item 1-4, Employee of the Month, Jeremy Dillon for July 2026. Mr. Benavides, are you presenting? I know you're here somewhere. Oh, Diego.
Good evening, City Council and Mayor. My name is Juan Diego Lopez. I am the Assistant Public Works Director for the City of Lemoore. And I have the honor and privilege to present this month's Employee of the Month in front of all these amazing fine people today to the Chief Plant Operator of the Wastewater Treatment Plant for the City of Lemoore, to Mr. Jeremy Dillon. Jeremy has been with us since 2021. I still remember when this young gentleman was in our interview room, very nervous, uncertain, but full of hope, ambition, curiosity, enthusiasm to be of service. Jeremy continues to serve with integrity, positivity, professionalism, which is why he was nominated. I understand very well the difficult task of being the chief plant operator as a former operator myself, chief plant operator myself. And I have no doubt that Jeremy will continue to face these challenges with loyalty to the city's mission of providing quality service to its residents. So I would like for you guys to please help me congratulate Jeremy Dillon for.
You have your acceptance.
Yeah, where's
speech.
your Steve?
So I want to thank the wastewater department and the office staff, been very helpful. So yeah, we work with great people and I have a lot of good people around me to help me. So yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Stand back here. Team.
1, 2, 3. Public first. One, two, three. Gotcha.
Does it penetrate the walls? No. Or real? So there's a body down in the water table. Yeah, like it's a blind.
Now we'll go ahead and move on to study session, item 2-1, approval audit report for year ended June 30th, 2025. Ms. Valdez.
Thank you, Council. So this year, I'd like to take the time to go over our fiscal year 25 audit has been completed. And today I have here Mr. Jolly to go over the report with you. And again, we had a successful year with no negative findings.
That is worth a clap, by the way.
That was quite the handoff.
Yes.
I was gonna say, hopefully I don't kill the mood in the room. There's a lot of good awards and presentations we've had so far. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Thank you for having me here tonight. Just a few brief comments. This is the audit report for the City of Lemoore for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2025. As Jocelyn mentioned, there are no findings related to the internal controls of the city. Also, we issued an unqualified opinion, which means we found the city's books and records to be in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Overall, this was a clean audit for the city. The city's financial position is looking healthy. Just wanted to skip to a few highlights on page 12 is the governmental funds, and these are our major funds. The general fund had a increase in net position or fund balance of just over 2.4 million, bringing the general fund's overall fund balance to 17.6 million. Also, the enterprise funds, starting on page 15 and 16. As you know, these funds operate off user charges, and all of these funds are also operating as intended. All of them have positive changes in net position, and so revenues are covering expenses in those funds. Lots of information in the financial statements. In the notes, you'll see a more detailed explanation of the significant assets and liabilities of the city. There was one new GASB pronouncement this year having to do with compensated absences, and there's some information on that as well in those footnotes. There's also some supplemental information on budget to actual comparisons for the general fund, and also a 10-year presentation of some of the pension plan liability information. At the very back of the financials are the non-major governmental funds are presented, and all of those are operating as intended as well. Lastly, there's the report we issued to the City Council letting you know that we didn't have any disagreements with management, didn't have any difficulties in completing the audit, and didn't identify any uncorrected misstatements. As mentioned, this was another successful audit for the city, and I want to thank Jocelyn and her team for helping get this done. The last couple of years, there's been new GASB pronouncements almost every year. So every time that happens, it's a little extra work implementing that. But she's done a great job, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to work with the city. And I can now take any questions you have.
Any questions or comments from council?
So over the last, maybe Jocelyn, you can respond to this from your position in terms of taking a look at our financial position over the last couple of years. What are you pleased with?
I have not had 2 seconds this week to look at that information for you, and I would be happy to bring it back at the next council meeting.
Okay. But in terms of what our auditor stated, in terms of our fund balances and general fund balance.
We have been trending in a positive direction for the last several years. But again, I don't have those
You don't have
exact.
final numbers, no, but that's good.
Mhm.
So we're trending in the right direction.
Yes, we are.
That's great.
And with the budget outlook, we do look to continue that.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the public on this item? Seeing none, that's a study session, so I just want to thank you all for your hard work and great to see a great report.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we'll go ahead and move on to public comment. Public comment will be in accordance with the attached policy. This time is reserved for members of the audience to address the city council on items of interest that are not on the agenda and are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. It is recommended that speakers limit their comments to 3 minutes each, and it is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The council is prohibited by law from taking any action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda. Prior to addressing the council, any handouts for council will be provided to the city clerk for distribution to the council and appropriate staff. The public will have an opportunity to comment on items on the agenda once the item has been called and the mayor opens the item to the public. Is there any public comment at this time? Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Wearing my Chamber of Commerce hat as Vice Chairman and Chief Financial Officer of the Lemoore Chamber of Commerce, I just wanted to excitedly announce that we do have new office hours effective immediately today. We'll be open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And this change was made just reflecting on the service patterns of our community when people were coming into our office, so it could be more accessible, but appointments outside of these office hours are always available. I did see that she leave, but I just wanted to state clearly for the record an immense gratitude to Leanne Rossiter for all her incredible community support, not just at the chamber, but the city itself. Switching over gears to Rotary, it's not too late to RSVP. Today is the last day. If you're interested in attending our special presentation meeting at Lemoore Senior Center, it'll be July 14th, and we'll be having a speaker from Central Valley Honor Flight. So that is one that you do not want to miss. It's an incredibly important service that we provide for our veterans in our community. So we are excited to have them be our featured speaker for that event. Also want to speak with the Rotary Club of Lemoore. We are partnering with the city of Lemoore for the end of summer bash. We've been participating in this event since its inception, grilling hot dogs, giving them out for free in the community. I continue to get a sunburn as I currently have in my face at that event, being in front of the grill all day, but it'll be a great time and I hope to see everybody there. And it's also a school drive for all Lemoore schools. So if anyone in the community is interested in donating school supplies, there are flyers that are publishing online and in print. So please take a look, consider giving where you can, and continue to serve. I am being summoned, so I will have to leave my comments there, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment?
Good evening. I did receive a public comment via email from Vanessa Smalley, and it reads, "Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I've lived in Lemoore since my family moved here in 2001. I love this community and taking part in city events is important to me. I'm very excited about the City Seal contest because I think it is a great way to get the community involved and because I have a personal love for art. I did not create one, but looking through the 100+ submissions, I was impressed with a lot of designs, and I'm really proud we have had so many talented artists in Lemoore. However, I also noticed that there are a lot of AI created submissions in that list. Some I think AI might have only been part of the process, but many are blatantly completely AI made. I think AI is a great tool that can be used to simplify daily life, but using it for art is completely unnecessary. There are clearly many talented artists in our city, and I feel they should be showcased and celebrated. City seals are representative of a community's culture, values, and what makes them unique. I think it would be a poor reflection on the city of Lemoore if we allowed AI art to represent us. I understand that the top 8 voted designs are going to be presented to the city council. I'm writing this email to urge the council to choose a design that is human-made to represent the real people that live in this community. Please educate yourselves on the identifying features of AI-generated art, or else consider asking the winning artists to provide an image file that includes the layers as proof of creation. Thank you so much. And I just realized I should have read this last item 6-1. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Nice.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, and City Manager. My name is Curtis Barnhart, and I am a resident of Lemoore and a senior leader and training instructor at NAS Lemoore. Lemoore prides itself on being military town. We fly flags, we host events, and we deeply value economic and cultural engine that the base brings to our community. But right now, there's a fundamental disconnect between how our city talks and about veterans and how our city is hiring bureaucracy treats veterans. Under current hiring process policy section 20 tech 8 kilo, veterans preference points are only applied after applicant clears the initial human resources screening matrix. The fatal flaw in this system is that the standard civilian HR filters are structurally incapable of translating complex military command scale. If a senior leader has spent 20 years managing multi-million-dollar assets, commanding hundreds of personnel, and overseeing massive housing facilities and safety inspection pipelines, a rigid HR checklist throws their resume in the trash simply because the job title wasn't municipal supervisor, or because their college units don't perfectly match with the civilian box. The veterans preference point system is completely useless if an elite veteran is never legally allowed to step into the interview room. We are disqualifying top-tier disciplined leadership talent before a human being, like our city manager, ever gets to evaluate their real-world capability. I'm here tonight to propose a common-sense, high-impact amendment to that section. I propose the city of Lemoore updates its policy to allow any qualified veteran to automatically bypass the initial HR minimum experience and education screening filter and advance directly to the face-to-face or panel interview phase. The only exception to this rule would be positions that legally require specific non-transferable state licenses, such as civil engineer. A professional license already serves as proof of technical examination for leadership roles. What we need is to get our veterans past the software filters and into the interview room. Let our department heads and city manager evaluate the transferability of military leadership face-to-face. Let's close the gap between our appreciation for our veterans and our personnel policies. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to item 3, department and city manager reports.
Thank you. I do have a few before the chief comes up. I wanted to also let the community know about Summer Bash on August 1st, which will be held at Veterans Park from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. That is a free community event. The Rotary does hand out hot dogs until they run out. There will be vendors there, food vendors and beverage vendors and craft vendors, as well as free school supplies for Lemoore students. Monday, July 13th is the city offices will be closed. We have an air conditioning unit that's being installed with a crane. And so per OSHA regulations, we can't have anyone in the building. So city staff will be off-site at training. So if you needed to go into the city offices Monday, July 13th, there will not be anybody there. We have the striping of Cinnamon Drive that will be happening towards the end of this week. So you'll see that happening soon. Supreme Supplements is a new business that's opening. They have their grand opening at 10 a.m. on July 18th. They're located downtown on Heinlein Street between D and E Street, if you can make it to their grand opening. And I have 2 things I wanted to share about grants. So one is that we've been awarded a BSCC grant for $1 million to install cameras in the parks in the community. So there'll be 7 parks that will get cameras that will have direct feeds into the police department's dispatch center. It is a 5-year completion period, so it's not something that's going to happen overnight, but we did find out, I think the week before last, that we were awarded that grant. So that is exciting. And then on grant info, because we have the grant contract on consent with Townsend Public Affairs, we currently were paying $4,000 a month. That there's an increase now to make it $4,250 a month. But we pulled the information on grants that we've received since we've been contracting with them. So we just completed 2 years under contract. We were awarded $1 million as a federal earmark from Congressman Fong for our AMI water meters. We received $11,623 for a CHP grant for DUI checkpoints, and then the $1 million grant for the camera system through BSCC. So that's just over $2 million in grants that we've successfully received. And then we have $10 million in grant applications currently pending. So I just wanted to point that out to the community because sometimes you may wonder why we're paying an outside grant writer to write grants. They also monitor grants for us, so they send us a monthly report of grants that are available. So there's some that are simple grant applications that when they send us the notification, it's easier for me just to do the grant myself than to respond to them and asking them to write it. So there's a few other grants that are smaller that we've received, such as the playground structure for Lemoore Little League. That was one that we did in-house, but we only became aware of it because of the grant monitoring that Townsend did. And there were a few other smaller ones like that were under $100,000. That's all I have. And then I believe Chief has some announcements.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. This 4th of July was relatively.
Don't say it. Don't say
As
it.
compared to the last few years, it was.
He's gonna say the Q word.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay.
He's all cute.
We had 40 fireworks calls on the 4th of July. We issued out 6 citations as compared to the last couple of years, we're usually right around 70 to 100. So we did have 4 additional bodies out there just assigned to fireworks patrol. So I think it helped out a little bit. And then lastly, the 4th of July color run was a good success. We had 412 registered participants and raised $1,478 for our PAL program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Quick question for you, Marissa. Does that also include the rec department? Will the rec department be closed as well, or just the city offices?
Yes, so the building's all connected, so rec will also be closed.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll go ahead and go to consent calendar. Items considered routine in nature are placed on the consent calendar. They will be considered and voted upon in one vote as one item unless a council member or member of the public requests individual consideration. Item 4-1, approval minutes, regular meeting, June 2nd, 2026. 4-2, approval minutes, special meeting, June 23rd, 2026. 4-3, approval agreement between the City of Lemoore and Townsend Public Affairs, Inc. for the grant writing, researching, and consulting services. 4-4, approval side letter number 1 of agreement between the City of Lemoore and Lemoore Police Sergeants Unit. 4-5, approval side letter number 1 of agreement between the City of Lemoore and Police Officers Association. 4-6, approval side letter number 1 of agreement between the City of Lemoore and Lemoore Police Professional Services Bargaining Unit. 4-7, approval purchase of granular activated carbon media and related services for the TTHM treatment facilities at Station 7 and 11. 4-8, approval agreement between the City of Lemoore and Four Creeks, Inc. for consulting services, comprehensive general plan update, and CEQA document. 4-9, approval agreement between the City of Lemoore and MAC General Engineering for AHSC Oleander Extension Improvements Project. 4-10, approval resolution 2026-20, intention to levy and collect the annual assessments within Landscape and Lighting Maintenance District Number 1, Zones 1 through 13, and resolution 2026-21, intention to levy and collect the annual assessments within Public Facilities Maintenance District Number 1, Zones 1 through 12. Item 4-11, approval resolution 2026-22, approving an ordinance imposing a transient occupancy tax to be administered to the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration for calling for placement on the ballot for the November 3rd, 2026 general municipal election of the proposed transient occupancy tax measure for submission to the qualified voters of said. 4-12, information only, Police Department update, May 2026. 4-13, information only, Building Division update, May 2026. 4-14, information only, Finance Department update, May 2026. Would anyone on council like to pull any of the consent items?
Before you do that, can I just make a statement?
Sure.
Okay, so I just want to clarify for everyone that item 4-4, 4-5, and 4-6 have no real change on what we are currently doing. We had to do side letters because our current practice had some confusion in the language for CalPERS and our reporting. So there's no impact to the bargaining units or the city. It's just language that CalPERS requested.
Thank you.
I would like to just thank city staff for the 600 pages. 682 to be exact. Yeah, thank you very much. That's all.
So I hear nobody wants to pull any of these.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Anyone from the public like to pull any of the consent calendar items? Wow, okay. So with that, I'll entertain a motion. Really? Somebody, thank you. I have a motion by Councilmember Gornick.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Brewster. Councilmember Gornick.
Aye.
Councilmember Brewster.
Yes.
Councilmember Lyon.
Yes.
Councilmember Cruz.
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. You guys still had to make it painful, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now we'll go ahead and move on to item 5, public hearings. We have item 5-1, public hearing ordinance 2026-07, amending Title 4 of the Municipal Code to add Chapter 12 relating to the volunteer fire department. Faith.
This is just in continuation from the previous. So was there any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, as you said, this is a continuation of the public hearing that's gone on for several meetings now. And what this is potentially adding to the municipal code, specifying that the fire department is voluntary fire department, that the city contracts with them, and that setting, codifying the expectation that's already in place, which is priority 1 and 2 calls are absolutely mandatory for them or expected. And then everything beyond that is not. What council was looking for before was a definition of what priority 1, 2, or 3 was. And so Marissa has been working with Faith and the fire department to come up with that list, and that's been attached as well. So it's more of a list of what qualifies as each one of those priorities, and that will be what is looked at and referenced when dealing with priorities.
Remember, we had this discussion a couple meetings ago.
Yes.
Yes,
This
yeah.
kind of falls in line with what.
This continuation.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out as well that this isn't changing anything that's currently being done. It's more just putting it on paper.
So you guys didn't have anything to add to that?
No.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. And is there any questions or comments from council? Oh, sorry.
Just
Continue.
confirming all the priority 1 calls are the code 3 response.
That is affirmative, yes.
Okay. And then the 2 would be depending on what it is, and then
The severity of
Yeah,
it, yes.
yeah. Okay. That was the only thing we were kind of just wondering, like, what was going to be in the actual municipal code and what defined what. And that.
Certainly, and there's no way you could define every call.
Yeah.
Obviously, is
Yeah.
different.
Yes.
That some things that we listed will still be priority 3, code 2 per EMS.
Yeah.
And we will not be responding.
Yeah.
But there's things in there that we have not included that we would absolutely respond to, given the circumstances. If it came like, didn't think about that, but absolutely.
Yeah.
We tried to kind of include everything, but there's no way to include 100% of what could potentially happen.
Just, this may be a silly question, but Chief, how does this relate or interact with our call center?
How does this, I'm sorry,
How
Dr.
do
Gordy?
these priorities, are these priorities in line with how we manage the call center? At police?
Yeah, I think it gives our dispatchers kind of a clear direction on.
Okay, they'd use the same.
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay, yeah.
absolutely.
Good. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from council?
No.
Any questions or comments from the public on this item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council and entertain a motion to move to introduce and waive the first reading of ordinance number 2026-07, amending Title 4 of the Municipal Code to add Chapter 12 relating to the volunteer fire department and setting the second reading at the next regular meeting.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Brewster and a second by Councilmember Lyons. Councilmember Brewster,
Yes.
Councilmember Lyon,
Yes.
Councilmember Cruz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gornick,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. Now we'll go ahead and move on to item 5-2, public hearing ordinance 2026-08, amending Chapter 1, animal control of Title 5, issuance of license tagged of Lemoore Municipal Code pertaining to the licensing of cats. Chief Kendall.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. We have brought this to you during a couple study sessions. Before you is the proposed ordinance change to Section 28 of Chapter 1, Title 5, in particular subsection B pertaining to cat licensing. No person responsible for any cat shall have such cat, male or female, over the age of 4 months within the city without at all times having upon such cat either a tag as provided in subsection B below, or a microchip as provided in subsection B2 below. The tag and microchipping is the same as it is for a dog. They have to, one, either wear the tag via collar or have a microchip in place. The overall cost to the citizen would be an annual license fee of $15.56. That's the only change to the animal control ordinance at this time. So with that, I will take any questions.
Any questions or comments from council?
Not yet.
Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Any questions or comments from the public? Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Alex C. Walker. Just want to speak incredibly clearly that I'm speaking as a private citizen and not behalf of any group or interest. I'm strongly against this ordinance. Just put plain and simply, I view it as government overreach, even though I truly do appreciate our police department and its effort to address a serious problem that does plague our city in many jurisdictions and our local community. I do not see this as a meaningful way that's going to create a meaningful change that's going to truly address the problem. And because of that, taking the time to really digest on all those study sessions, those reading materials, and those several other meetings that have happened when this is being considered before your council, I think there is an informed decision to be said that this is not going to meaningfully address the issue. And on principle, not being in favor of government business with people's private business, I would strongly oppose it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment?
Hey, Mayor, Chris Barner again. I actually just have a couple questions. When it comes to this ordinance, have we talked with NAS Lemoore with their housing office there about them registering their animals as well?
No, they're not required to register any of them.
Okay. With being a former resident of Lincoln Military Housing on board NAS Lemoore, I can tell you that there are plenty of animals on that base that get dropped off in this town because of the fact that they don't have a tag or a registration here. Highly encourage that we come up with an idea for that as well. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? I'll bring it back to council for further discussion.
Go. Are you gonna? No. You go first. How many dogs do we have registered right now?
You'd say it was 100. Yeah, 150.
And how long has the dog ordinance been in place?
Before my time.
Yeah, forever.
If I look, I think it's 1970. I don't know. Don't ask me.
Oh, that's not that long.
Right.
It's last week.
I get the the idea of it. I don't think it's gonna get used the way it's supposed to be. That's my opinion on it.
Chief, what kind of a burden is it put on your force? You guys are gonna be one.
It's the same as dogs.
Yeah.
We're not going door to door to ensure, that these animals are
It's
licensed.
just the problem ones or whatever.
It's if we come across those animals, and we can locate an owner, it gets the animals back to the owner quicker. But again,
We'll just see how it works out.
Chief, do you see this as a necessary ordinance or is this just more work?
The way we would address it, I don't think it's gonna be more work. We're gonna address it on a case-by-case basis. If we do come into custody of a cat that we can identify, obviously, we don't want to have to cover the cost of veterinarian bills, or otherwise having to house the cat.
So yes, is that what you're saying?
I don't think it will create more work.
No,
think
I know, but I'm saying, do you see this as a necessary ordinance?
Let me ask you this, what's the process if we were to get a cat right now?
Feed it.
You take care of it, and if you can't find the owner, what happens? Do we even get cats? When's the last time we picked a cat up?
Yeah, we get cats quite often. And a lot of times they're injured. And that's when we obviously don't pick up cats, unless they're sick or injured. So we might get, a few a month, but we are getting them. If it's injured, we're required by law to get the animal to a veterinarian, and pay for it if it can be saved. And at that point,
So how would we publicize this addition to the ordinance? So
We could do public outreach. I mean, we could post on social media and on our website. We could even include it in the utility bill if we wanted to. I think the difficulty is getting people to actually comply with it. They don't comply with the license requirements for a dog now.
Yeah, there's more than 100 some
Well,
odd dogs.
I guess my question is that if we don't want to advertise it, why do we have it? So I mean, if we could advertise both for requirement for dogs and for cats, for licensure, see what happens. I think it's kind of silly to have a law that we don't tell people we have a new law that they have to comply with. They won't have dog or cat.
Well, we haven't adopted the cat yet.
If we did.
I share the concerns. I think that most responsible pet owners are already going to be looking for their lost dog or cat, regardless of registration. And I think responsible pet owners would gladly pay that vet bill for if their cat is sick or injured. I think those are the people that are going to license their pets anyway. So I really don't think it's going to help personally in recovering some of that cost, because I think the less responsible pet owners aren't going to be the ones licensing their cats. So I don't know if this is in my opinion, a fix for the problem versus just putting another municipal code ordinance on the books.
Well, if irresponsible drivers don't stop at stop signs, we don't do anything about it. It's why do we do that?
Well, that's public safety.
60.
As staff, we're willing to do whatever council wants us to do. We just need direction of what you would like.
yeah, I think in one of the study sessions, I'm not married to this.
I'll go ahead and close the public hearing so I don't forget to close it. But I'll leave it up to you all. I was against the consensus, so I still stand where I stand. So if there's a motion to proceed.
So move.
I have a motion by Councilmember Gornick. Is this a no second, or is this you guys just delaying? Okay, just checking.
I mean, it's not gonna hurt nothing. But it's just, God, it feels. I'll second it.
I have a second by Councilmember Lyons, Councilmember Gornick,
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons,
Yes.
Councilmember Brewster,
No.
Councilmember Cruz,
No.
and I vote no as well. Motion fails, 2 in favor, 3 against. So we'll go ahead and move on to new business. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. New business, 6-1, report and recommendation, new city seal contest. Ms. Trejo.
Thank you. So our city seal contest has closed. We had over 100 submissions. As stated, when we released this information, the top 8 would come to council for consideration and approval. So you have 8 to choose from. We don't have a recommendation for one over the others. Our recommendation is just for you to review them and decide what you think best represents the city. I would just like to say that our city seal should be representative of several different things, right? It should be reflective of our heritage, of our community and our history and where we came from, but it should also depict like a vision of where we want the city to be. And so just keep that in mind when you're looking at the seals. There are things that if you don't like, I'm sure, well, I can't say I'm sure. I can ask the artist if they'd be willing to change. I think simple things like if they chose a color palette that maybe you didn't want them as bright, so you wanted the colors dulled down, or you wanted to change the font or, you know, the coloring of the letters, or if there were aspects that you wanted removed, I think those things may be able to be negotiated. But if we can maybe start with the first one on their screen.
Excuse me, but the comment that was made, do you know if any of these were done through AI?
I'm not sure. I would maybe defer to Councilmember Cruz and see if he can depict them since he's the most knowledgeable with IT related things. But if not, if that is of interest to the council, we can do as the individual requested and ask for the layers of their document to see what they've created themselves.
I definitely think some of this is ChatGPT or some type of AI platform because, I mean, we make challenge coins and that kind of stuff, and this looks just like it. So I don't think maybe all of them aren't, but there's definitely AI features in it.
So I would say on this particular seal, and I can tell you my opinions if you'd like, or I can just be quiet and let you look at them.
Please do.
Okay. So you have to think about the fact that this isn't only going to be printed on paper documents, it's going to be printed on city polos that we wear when we have professional meetings with individuals that we are trying to convince to come to our city. And so while this one is really nice and it would probably print great on paper, some of the detail is not going to come through when it's embroidered on a polo shirt. So if you like this, I would suggest that maybe the clouds be removed. The detail of the brick street is not going to show. The star under California, I would move it, make it a different color and depict in the state where the city of Lemoore is. And then there's more in Lemoore down at the bottom isn't something that is utilized really any longer. So I would maybe change what is stated down at the bottom. I would not have maybe all the cars on the street just because those things aren't going to be able to be embroidered, but the overall general idea of the seal could work and it looks nice, whether it's AI or not, I have no idea. This is the second one. This one has some details about it that also would not print well or be embroidered well. Like all of the people are probably you're not gonna be able to tell what they are when they're embroidered. And then around the outside of the circle, there's people holding hands, which looks really nice, but again, embroidered isn't really gonna work, as well as the cotton, and I think those are pistachios. The seal itself looks nice, looks good on paper, but would just be a little different looking once it's embroidered. Also, the education that's off to the right, there's a tiger there, which represents Lemoore High School, I'm assuming. But we also have Lemoore College here. And so if we're going to highlight education, I'd maybe remove the tiger, just because then we're just including all education and not specific to one over the others. I do like that it says pride, community, heritage, workforce, and future versus there's more in Lemoore. So that part of it is nice. It does have the jets at the top, but they're not like the primary feature. I personally just like when I look at this, I see the Tobin James sun right in the middle of the seal, but that's just where my eyes go. This next one does reflect the history of Lemoore, but it doesn't necessarily show anything for the future. So we have the Tulare Lake down at the bottom, and I should have probably started with this, but when you search the heritage of Lemoore, it says Lemoore, California's heritage blends deep-rooted ag roots with strong Native American legacy and a thriving military presence. The city sits on the basin of the historic Tulare Lake and was shaped by early pioneers, the arrival of the Southern Pacific Railroad and the Tachi-Yokut tribe. So I think that this does do a good job of showing the history of Lemoore. It just doesn't necessarily show where we want the city to go. And Mr. Barnhart could probably tell me what this tall tower is, but behind the sign that says Lemoore Naval Air Station, but to me, it looks like the watchtower at the prison, not something that's on base.
It's the flight tower.
Yeah, it's flight tower. That's what it looks like, bro. It's pretty close.
Okay.
It does look like a prison tower too.
That would be the air traffic control tower
Thank you.
on outside.
And then can you scroll to the next seal? This one is two-tone. It would probably be a little bit easier to embroider. Some of the details would not show. I think those are like lines for mountains next to the cows. Those would not show. The thin line above that probably would not be able to be embroidered. The sun behind the eagle would not come out in an embroidered document. And then this also is, it looks like a challenge coin to me more than a city seal. And then can you scroll to the next one? So this one highlights the jets, the sun, the mountains. There's ag, a very large church, the downtown area, and then additional farming. To me, this does not look like Lemoore. It looks like the city of San Miguel, if you've ever been there. This is exactly what downtown San Miguel looks like. And so that's what I see when I look at it. I do like that they incorporated the downtown Lemoore Arch, that our mural is there. They have the freeway sign. But it just, to me personally, isn't very reflective of the city. This one looks nice. I like the colors in this one. The Central Valley Pride statement is nice, but you've heard the mayor say before when we go to conferences and she has our current logo, people think she works for a water company because of the way our current logo is. And if we put this seal on, I just think they're going to think we work at a dairy, or they're going to refer to us as the cow town. And so because the cow is so prominent, it maybe isn't the ideal way to portray the city when we're trying to attract businesses. I don't dislike the cow. I just wish it wasn't as big in the seal. And then can you go to the last one? This one, I think, is nice. There are some changes I would make on it. I would maybe make the lettering that is green like a burgundy, so that we could use red, white, and blue, but not red, white, and blue bright colors, but like a dark blue and a burgundy for our city seal. So the reason why I say that is I attended a meeting not too long ago, and someone made the comment that for the city being a military town, we're the most unpatriotic city in the area. And that stuck with me because I can kind of understand that. I feel like where I worked previously, we did a lot of things that were very patriotic and a lot of things for veterans, and we were not a military town. And so doing something that really brings out the fact that we should be more patriotic and focusing on something that we can adjust these colors to make it more like red, white, and blue, I think would be nice. There are things on here that I would remove. The stars behind the jet, we don't necessarily need there. I would maybe remove the cows and the dairy, the building on the base and make the flag larger. And then the wave with the surfer. I think under where it says California, there are little symbols that depict things already. So you have the coyote that's representing the tribe. They are also represented above. We have a cow representing agriculture. We have the train that represents the heritage. We also have a plant for agriculture. We have the wave for the surf ranch. We have a jet, and then there's a graduation cap that represents all education. And then I like the statement of heritage, community, and opportunity. Up at the top, it says honoring our roots, building our future. I know that people will say, well, why don't we take out the wave because the surf ranch is not in city limits, and I understand that, but if I can share a little story with you about why I think it's important to be there. So I've always said Lemoore, and my grandpa always corrected me and said it's not Lemoore, it's Lemoore, every single time that came out of my mouth. And he was very proud of where he came from. And when people ask me where I'm from, I have a habit of saying it's about a small town about 30 minutes south of Fresno because nobody knows where it is. And years ago, when my grandpa was still alive, we took him and my grandma to Hawaii. And while we were there, we took them to a luau, and they were asking who'd been married the longest. And so my grandpa raised his hand, and all these people raised their hand, and they ended up being the couple married the longest. So they invited them up on stage. And the guy says, "Where are you from?" And he hands him the microphone and he says, "I'm from Lemoore." And everybody looks at him, and it's like awkward because nobody knows where that is. And so we went to Hawaii this last summer, and my kids said, when people ask you where you're from, are you going to say Lemoore like grandpa did, or are you going to say you're from a small town 30 minutes south of Fresno? And I said, no, I'm going to say I'm from Lemoore, and I'm going to make sure I say it right. So it was kind of a joke while we were there, and people were asking us where we were from. And we went to a coffee shop on the Big Island, and the owner said, "Where are you guys from?" And I said, "Lemoore." And he said, "I surfed there." And so as we went around the island, the Big Island and Kauai, when we would tell people where we were from, they're like, "Oh, the surf ranch." So even though it's not necessarily in city limits, when you travel outside of the area, people recognize that that's where the surf ranch is. So I don't think we necessarily need the surfer and the wave up the top, but I don't mind it being small down at the bottom. Those are my comments on seals.
What is the building in that one above the surf ranch or the surfer? Is
That I'm not sure. I imagine it's something to represent the base. Like I said, if it were up to me, I would remove those trees. I would remove the stars behind the jet. I would get rid of that building, and I would make the flag larger. Possibly also getting rid of the dairy. I don't hate the dairy. It could stay. And then I would change the green wording to burgundy.
The dairy reminds me of the old granary, sort of.
I think I would like that more if it looked like the granary.
That building would be the new science building from West Hills. That is how that building looks. I just want one quick comment about it though. When it comes to embroidering, as someone who went to the Navy and they taught them how to sew, keep in mind, you can't get high details with embroidery. So keep that in mind when you're looking at those.
And that's the last one, right?
Right.
I would say you call all of them in or send an email out with some of the comments that have been made about embroidery and stuff like that, and see if they're willing to make adjustments. And if anybody makes adjustments and they are willing to do it, I say we come back for a vote.
I think my only concern with doing that with all of them is like an understanding that it can't really change the design, because then it's not fair to the people who weren't voted in. These were the most votes. So if we say, make these changes, and then they're like, oh, well, that's not gonna embroider well, so we're gonna change it completely, and it comes back looking like a different design that nobody voted on.
Well, then if you want to get technical, you're gonna take all these as is then.
Questions, comments from council?
Mayor, I do have a question. I think the majority of these logos are aesthetically pleasing. However, if Councilman Brewster requests a defense for it, very few of them will be able to defend their logos because there's a lot of, unfortunately, I do see the flaws in majority of them. Yeah, that's something to consider. There's definitely things in there that shouldn't be there. There's identifiable stuff and patterns that are definitely similar to AI generated content. I don't know what our options are, but if we could, I would hope that we could extend this some more with better guidance on what we're looking for.
Any other comments? No?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
couple comments.
Sure.
I think we should take all of them and ask a professional to look at them and come back and give us some. I don't think any of us are qualified. I mean, they're all pretty, but they're busy. I mean, if I were to touch these, I'd rather have the casino on here than do Indians under a tree weaving.
I mean, I share the concern of the busyness. I know that the examples that were given on the flyer were the city of Avenel, city of Dinuba. I don't remember what the other city was, but they were pretty simple in nature. These are very busy.
They're very articulated on all the detail on
Yeah.
the jets and the jet stream and the clouds and the brick on the, yeah.
And we approach it from a different one. Everybody, all kinds of things.
You need to talk in your mic.
I said, we try and include everything. And I mean, we don't even grow cotton anymore. So,
North of town, they grow cotton.
pardon me?
North of town, they grow cotton still.
Yeah.
I think it might be the only one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
I was gonna say. See, like, that's pretty simple right there. Still don't know if you'll be able to get that detailed into a shirt.
To me, that's I don't want to say very similar because at least it has things that people know what they mean versus our current logo. But to me, this looks like a logo, not really a city seal. So that's my issue with that.
Good observation.
Let me look some.
Two different things.
Any questions or comments from the public? Mr. Wong.
Not to be negative or anything, but the size of your logo, looking at these pictures, are pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
The logo that you're gonna put on your shirt, side of the vehicles, they're not gonna be this big. So the detail, you need to be, I guess, concerned how much detail will be able to see when it's only this big.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I think you need to really consider that, because if you put too much detail on a little small thing like that, it's gonna look like a dot.
That is
So,
definitely the concern.
yeah, so there's, some of these have great when they're big, but when you have it, the size of your shirt, you're not gonna people are gonna see, like, what is that? Kind of a thing. So just something to keep in mind.
Any other public comment? Nothing, Alex? All right, I'll bring it back to council.
Can we table it till the next meeting?
What are you looking at for the next meeting, or are you wanting something done in between, or just table it? If so, what's the direction? Stuart's just shaking his head. That's not
We
helping.
can pay, I mean, it's gonna be a cost, it'll be minimal to have like embroidered patches made of each one in real size so that you can see them if you'd like, unless there's only certain ones you want to see, that would save us money, so we're not doing all of them. Or nothing's gonna change between now and then if we don't do anything, so.
Would that be with the changes if council gives
Actually,
consensus with
I
some of the
like that.
changes that were talked about, or without the changes?
Whatever direction you want to go.
I say we do the patches or have them embroider some material, doesn't have to be a shirt, right?
And then show the artists what happened.
And let me say this very politically correct here. To show that it's going to be very hard for a shop or whoever for the, vectorized image or whatever you're going to have put on a polo. So we don't change it on people without trying to actually apply it to a piece of material. So I do think that's a very good idea to see if it actually pans out, because if it's not possible, then there's your answer right there for the financial part of this whole thing.
It also doesn't have to be embroidered, now that I think about it. You can silk screen it, or you could even make the patch like a silk screen patch, like Chief's fire department patch on his shoulder over there. You can make the patch and then sew the patch on. I don't know, just an option, a thought. I'm gonna shut up again.
And so if that is gonna be the consensus of council, would you want all 8 of them done, or are there some that you know that you don't like it and you don't want us to take the time to have those done?
I mean, they were all presented, so I would say do them all.
I still don't think we're clear. Are we talking about a city seal? Or are we talking about a logo?
We are talking about a city.
And I don't think the two can be the same.
Correct.
Yeah, logo.
So I think in some respects, we admit have confused the others as well. So, I mean, most of these are presented. That's the way I look at them is.
Frank, every time you see the water department sign, you're gonna see the new logo.
Oh, I realize that.
Yeah.
But we presented it, even on our agenda, it says a seal. And we talked about it as a seal.
Yeah.
And, like this established in 1900. That's one thing that I think would be on a seal.
And that's what it is. We're not redoing the logo. We're only redoing the seal.
Oh, so we're gonna keep the water department.
Apparently.
Well, we're going to come back with a logo
logo.
later, but
Yeah.
this item is just for a seal.
So we could put a seal on our polo and look like not the water department,
You need a bowling shirt for this stuff,
pretty much.
and as big as those are.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and be the bad guy, but the one that I referenced looking like a logo, I would say to leave that one out of
The printing.
the printing.
Is that consensus, or does the majority feel like that one should be included also?
I think we should print them all. They were all presented. Print them all. My opinion.
I don't know what you guys are gonna do.
You guys,
Oh, never mind.
your part.
I feel bad choosing on this. I don't know why.
Yeah, this
I
should
feel
be a
like I'm-
closed session item.
I feel like I'm leaving people out.
I mean, the good thing is that we don't know who did them, so it's not anything personal. Hopefully the artists don't take it personally.
Still feel bad.
So I would say, as you're looking at them, keep in mind if you are attending an ICSC conference and you're sitting across the table from a multi-million-dollar company trying to convince them why they want to come do business in your city and you're wearing your city polo, are you going to be proud to have any of these on your shirt?
I'm proud of the old logo. Sort of.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
I don't know what you guys are gonna do.
You guys heard my opinion.
Yeah.
I say print them all.
Print them
Okay.
all.
That's two. Is there a third that says print them all?
See what they look like actually, not on here, but on a piece of clothing. Or a piece of material, not clothing.
I'll be the third so we can move on.
Thank you.
Thank you all. And thank you to everyone that was quite a lot of submissions. I did not expect to have that many, to be honest.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone that participated. Now we have city council reports and requests. Councilmember Brewster.
Thank you, Mayor. One thing I noticed, Marissa, was the banners on Lemoore Avenue. How long have those been there?
Recently.
They're recent. I
They're
drove by
recent?
when they were installing them. I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
That's good. I like that. That's a good little touch. You know, I go to other towns like with baseball and stuff like that. Like Porterville has a lot of the graduate kids on them, and then they have service members that were either killed in action or active duty. So I think that's really good. I was at indoor soccer the other day. It's hot in there. So we need some more. What are those fans called?
We can't say it.
I tried to get you to say it. They're big ass fans if you, that's the brand. We need them. We need some more. We need something. I don't know what's going on. I almost died in there. Seeing all the construction around town, gotten a lot of compliments. We actually got thanked on Facebook the other day for the light on HA and Liberty starting to go in. Congratulations to all the recipients today. The grant for cameras is huge. That's really, really good. I know for a fact that for cameras that are going in the parks, that would lead to investigative leads on 3 shootings already. So that's huge. That's public safety right there. I know people are going to be upset and say Big Brother's watching, but there's no expectation of privacy in public. That's why cops get to stand there and get recorded all day long. That's why all that stuff's going on. So it's just another security level for us to be able to make sure nothing crazy is going on in town, and it's going to be live fed into the PD, I believe. So that's good stuff. Baseball wise, everybody got eliminated except for my team. We're going to sectionals in Delano, where we will play Chowchilla and Delano. We win that, we will be going to the state championships in Fremont, July 21st through the 25th, I believe. So just with all that, and then 4th of July, I did see the fire department out driving around doing patrols. The PD was pretty busy. But yeah, that's it. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Lyons.
Yes, Mr. Chamberlain, John Chamberlain, Chief. Hey, thank you for the imaging cameras. Those things are very helpful. Use them a lot. Let's see here. And Reagan Gibson. Oh, she's gone, but I just wanted to say, wow, to that young lady.
I mean, gave me chills. And Rachel Taylor. Congrats to, Sergeant Ellsworth, Jeremy Dillon. Keep up the great work, you guys. All of our city staff, Jocelyn. I gotta say, you and Christy Bailey, wonderful. Chief, you're doing great, like always. Marissa, you're not too darn shabby yourself. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I missed the last special meeting. I want to apologize to council. Had a rough go of it. And that's it.
Councilmember Cruz?
Yes, Mayor, just a few things. I want to thank our staff. I want to congratulate, there's recent promotions in the PD as well. I saw quite a few representatives from fire as well as PD during the July 4th celebration that we had. Again, thank you so much for doing that, keeping us safe and making everything else in order. Also to specifically or notably, Ms. Valdez or Director Valdez, audits can be really stressful. I went through it in the county. I was the tech guy there, so I know how stressful it is. I'm glad that we came out perfect, well, good in that sense. Thank you so much for that effort.
Thank you. Councilmember Gornick?
Lemoore High School had an all-class reunion, and I think that went off really well. I heard a lot of good comments about that and about the city in terms of how it looked and how big it was growing. So I think that was really neat. The other thing, given the audit report that we had, I'd like us to take a look at some time to take a look at our policy with respect to reserves and to see how we might.
No, you're not talking in it.
And to see how we might look at that and see if it's appropriate or what we might want to do. Just kick around some ideas to, if we're going to stay on an upward trend in terms of revenue, how we might be able to get some other things done in the city. So.
Okay, and I promise I'll take less time than the city seal item, maybe. I attended the Girl Scouts bridging ceremony, which I've never been to one of those, so that was pretty cool to watch. Lemoore Rotary meeting where we talked about all of the different things going on in the city, as well as how the Rotary can partner different projects that they might be able to take on within the city. Also had a call from to Congressman Fong regarding some residents' concerns, and he's looking into those. I attended the Tauchi Community Breakfast, which is every month. Also attended the Friends of Kings County Library check donation. The Friends of Kings County Library donated a $50,000 check to Lemoore Library, and they also gave us a library tour, which was pretty cool. I know it's like bare bones right now, but it's not even going to look anything like the old library, obviously. Totally gutted, redone. It's going to look amazing. Can't wait for that to get finished, which sounds like they're really close on schedule. You're going to mention something, aren't you?
I was just going to say, can you highlight that we're going to have the best library in Kings County?
We absolutely will have the best library in Kings County, and it will be done before Hanford because Lemoore is better than Hanford. And I'll just say that again. So things are moving right along. So we are on schedule. Hanford is not. So there's that. We also attended the 4th of July birthday block party and did also take part in the color run/walk. I'll emphasize the walk for me. But I did get the little medal, which was kind of cool. I will do it again, but hopefully it's earlier in the day next time. That's all I'll say. It was a lot of fun though, because of I don't know if anybody's done a color run. That was one of my first 5Ks I ever did, was a color run in Fresno. So it was kind of nostalgia there, but having the red, white, and blue, it was awesome. It was fun. And there were colors in every place you can imagine, I'm sure, but, everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. There were no casualties, myself included. Everybody made it. So that was awesome and hugely attended. So that was, Chief mentioned how many people were registered participants, and there were people that just showed up that morning as well. So there was, I don't know how many people total, but if a crap ton is an amount, that's how many people were there. Also attended the all-class 125th reunion. Probably the most people I've seen downtown outside of a Christmas parade. So that was a lot of people. The weather was great. So that was a very well-attended and fun event as well. Civic Conversations was yesterday. Thank you to Councilmember Cruz for attending that with me, and had great conversations about things happening in the city, future, past, all around. So that was great conversation. Thank you to those that attended. And then for boards and commissions, KWRA passed their budget. All the commissions that I sit on passed their budgets, by the way. Caltrans for KCAG, Caltrans mentioned the roundabout permit again should be issued next month. I did give him a warning that it needs to actually be next month and not this be a repetitive thing of before where it's always next month. Status quo at Homelessness Collaborative, they just gave reports. Also attended the South Fork Kings GSA meeting for Dr. Gornick. He was out of town. They passed all their budgets, and the grower, what is that called? The grower, not the grower, the meter. Yeah, what's that? I don't remember what it's called because it's not my normal board, but they passed everything. Yeah, and it was approved by the growers, so. The South San Joaquin Valley Division Executive Board meeting will be this Thursday, so there's nothing to report out there. I attended the Cal Cities Policy Committee meeting. Actually, Councilmember Cruz was on the same Zoom as myself. Both of our policy committees were going over the same two bills, which I can't recall what they are off the top of my head right now, but I do remember that they were not really common sense to us. So I'm glad that both committees voted those down to not support. So that was good because that doesn't usually happen. Also attended the Clay Center tour, which is a daycare, Head Start, sorry, in Hanford with KCAO. And they also got a clean audit report, KCAO did. San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District Citizen Advisory Committee did not meet, neither did LAFCO. Attended Board of Supervisors meeting, nothing really pertaining to the city of Lemoore in those. And that is all I have. So I'm pretty sure that was shorter. Mr. Lyons, you have something else?
Oh, before you're done, I have one last thing. I forgot to, you want me to go now?
Yeah.
So I just kind of want to share with you guys a little bit of the Lemoore Fire Department, the way we do things. On June 9th, I retired from the fire department, and I just kind of wanted to read you guys the letter that I submitted. It's very not me.
Are we going to cry?
No.
Okay.
I might. I did not chat GPT it. I don't know how to do that. On June 9th, 2026, to all LVFD members, for the past 22 years, serving with the department has been an incredible and rewarding journey. During that time, I've learned a great deal, built lasting relationships, and genuinely enjoyed being a member of this outstanding organization. I'm proud to have answered 13,804 calls to service for our community. It was both a pleasure and an honor to help bring Active 911 to Lemoore Fire, assist with the construction of the Woodside Garage, and work alongside Bruce German to help secure a $2 million grant for the department. In 2018, I joined the Lemoore City Council with the goal of supporting Lemoore in every way possible. I have remained committed to that mission throughout my tenure on the council and will continue to do so for as long as I serve. I'm deeply grateful for the many memories, friendships, and moments of laughter that I have made in these years being so meaningful. The experiences I have shared with the members of this department will always hold a special place in my life. At this time, I would respectfully request honorary status and that my photograph be moved to the honorary wall. Thank you for all the opportunity serving alongside such dedicated individuals. It has been a privilege and an honor. Respectfully, Stuart D. Lyons.
Very nice. So I'll add to the end of my report. Congratulations on your retirement, sir.
Oh, thank you.
With that, we will go ahead and go to closed session. We have item 1, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Government Code 54956.9, one case, Jones v. City of Lemoore et al. And then we also have item 2, Government Code Section 54956.8, conference with real property negotiators, property APN 023-430-012, agency negotiator Marissa Trejo, city manager, under negotiation, price and terms. So with that, we'll go ahead and adjourn into closed session. Thank you all for being here. Till next time.